What's good, guys? Hello, welcome back. In my garage again today. We're gonna be here for a minute. I'm gonna just put it out there, but welcome back to my 90 days of lessons for me to you. And as you can see, the afro is out. It's the first time you guys have seen me with an afro. Look at her. She's beautiful, isn't she? She's quite a beauty. But today's lesson is make your own life great. Um, make your own life great. This is something that I've been practicing, and I've been hinting towards it and talking about it in my past videos for a while now. And making your own life great just means, enjoying your own life and the things that's going on with your own life and pushing for bigger and better things in your own life, right? There we go. One thing that I've been really pushing for myself with is to, take myself out, right? I made an entire video on, taking yourself out. It's really important to take yourself out, to treat yourself to things and do things just by yourself. And that's a part of making your own life great. Like, making your life great doesn't mean that you need to live up to the standards of a millionaire or a billionaire or even like 100,000 air, whatever those are called. I do hope that everybody watching this at least makes, eventually $200,000 to $300,000 a year. I feel like that's like the sweet spot, where you don't really got to worry about much, but that's neither here nor there. But, just doing the small things that you love to do, whether it's going outside, sitting in the sun for a little bit, maybe playing the game. I don't know, people, just doing your hobbies, honestly, just finding hobbies that you love and cultivating those hobbies and getting better at them, whether it's picking up an instrument and playing the guitar, just adding value to your own life. Like, a way that I try to add value to my own life is I go to the gym I go to the gym 4 to 5 times a week, right? I know that physically I like to appear physically attractive. I like my body to look a certain way, and it does influence the shape of your face with the amount of body fat and all that stuff that you have. And I know that I like feeling attractive, right? Whether it's, it's not even to say to other people, but just to myself. I like looking in the camera right now and just being yeah, I like the way that I look. That's a handsome young man. He's a very fit looking young man. He's muscular, he's got the muscles on him, things like that. That's adding value to my own life. And to even go further beyond your own appearance, before we even get past appearance, the way that you dress, right? I know that, especially speaking from current experiences, we don't necessarily have the type of money to buy the kind of clothes that we want, but investing just a little bit into the way that you dress is so important. Because one, people start taking, if people see how you carry yourself, they take you more seriously, right? And two, the way that you're dressed really does affect your confidence. I don't feel people talk about that enough or give that enough credence. I feel like people are just oh, you're too vain. That's vanity. But the way that you dress and the way that you are dressed truly affects how you perceive yourself on a day-to-day basis, right? If you're dressed like a bum every single day, I'm not gonna lie, dressing like a bum, it's very comfortable. I love doing it. Most oftentimes you see me, I'm dressed like a bum. I'm either dressed like a bum or I'm dressed like I'm going to the gym, because those are the things that I like to do. I like to, when I'm honestly, most videos that you guys have seen me in, I think there's maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 videos I've actually put on something other than gym clothes. I think it's maybe 2 videos I put something on, maybe even 1. Wow. Sorry, guys, I record these videos kind of early before I do go out about my day. But yeah. And being dressed in gym clothes, again, I like the way that I look, my appearance, that influences that. And it influences, I carry my head high, because I'm just wow, I feel good about myself today. I feel great. And that also goes into exploring your own style and those things that adds value to your life. Maybe you like fashion, maybe that's a hobby that you want to take up, and maybe it's a hobby that you can. I'm not saying, I'm not gonna be one of them guru, I'm not a guru, but I'm not gonna be one of those people who are gonna tell you turn your hobby into a way to make money, blah blah blah, because a lot of the times you lose the passion for that hobby. You don't need to turn your hobby into a money making thing, guys. You don't need to. You can just enjoy the hobby, right? But again, to go even further beyond that, to adding value to your life, we're going to think about it from a mental perspective, right? Reading is so important. It's one thing that I need to get back on heavy. I remember last year around this time, I was reading heavy. I was reading at least 1 book, 2 books a month, philosophy books. I was kind of on that self-help train for a little bit, but then I hopped off because I've told you guys I told you guys my opinion on that. I just don't want to get too much into self-help stuff. It's fun sometimes, or it's helpful sometimes. But you know, once you start kind of holding yourself accountable, I don't really feel like you need those things. I feel like self-help books are for people who don't really hold themselves accountable or self-actualize. People who don't self-actualize eat up self-help books, you know. And you know, not, this is not to shame anybody who does read self-help books, but you know, if you self-actualize a lot more, I promise you, you don't need any self-help books. You know, it's a good guidance, but if that's the only type of book you read, you don't need to. Please go read some philosophy. Not even just to brag about it, just to, you know, widen your own palate and your mental capabilities. I don't know if that's what I should have said right there, but you know, reading is a very good way to widen your capacity, your you know, your mind, your mental. Also pick up a skill. You know, a skill that I've been picking up is content creation. Where the world goes now, content creation is considered a skill because you know, companies are hiring people and companies are reaching out to people, and I've even been reached out to before by a company to just make a video on something, and I got paid for it, right? And you know, I thought that was something that was really cool because I'm not anybody, you know, I wasn't anywhere far along in my content creation journey. I'm not even a year into my content creation journey yet, and I already got a brand deal. That's just to say that, you know, a skill that you pick up, you know, the way that you never know where it can lead you. Maybe a skill that you pick up, maybe it's like a skill with your hands, maybe you start welding, maybe you start woodwork. Dude, maybe you even start a business with that. You know, again, don't feel the need to turn those things into businesses, but it's just the aspect of you never know where it can go, right? Something that you started to do for fun could lead down to bigger things down the road. And that's just, it's amazing, right? The way the world works. That's just the way the world works. So yeah, picking up a skill and learning a skill, especially, you know, as a man and even as a woman, you know, this is going to be very stereotypical women things to know how to do, but learning how to paint your nails, you know, do your hair, do your own makeup and all those things. You know, a lot of women, their makeup, like that's their self-expression, right? And they take that and they express themselves and they do like amazing artworks with it, right? They just do, and again, that can be taken and turned into a skill. Maybe you're a painter, maybe you're a drawer. I know I used to draw occasionally, and that's something, again, I need to get back into. But guys, content creation and work is my life right now. My life is just creating content, going to work, coming home, going to the gym, and that's it. That's my day to day. Yeah, you know, and another thing about, you know, enriching your own life is really sit with yourself and sit with your emotions, right? Not even if they're just sad emotions or emotions that make you feel bad, but you know, especially when they are those things, it is good to sit down with yourself and kind of have conversations with yourself and explore your own mind. You know, what's going on up there? Like, don't ignore the voice. It's gonna be funny to say don't ignore the voices in your head, but don't ignore when you're talking to yourself, right? A thing that I always say this whenever I've had people ask me, like, I've been talking to myself and they're like, what did you just say? I'm like, oh, I'm talking to myself. I'm like, oh, you're crazy. I'm like, no, talking to yourself, dude, it can save you so much. I've said this guy to you guys before. Talking to yourself does so much good for you because you're having a conversation with yourself, right? I told you guys this in one video, you're in a relationship with yourself. Talk to yourself. Talk about what's going on with your life. Talk about where you are in your life. Talk about where you want to go in your life, because the tongue holds power. If you speak, what you speak can take you so far, bro. So if you speak negatively of yourself, you're only going to look at yourself negatively because you're telling your brain, this is how I view myself. If you speak positive and you speak where you want to go, your brain's going to start locking and be like, all right, yeah, we talk about it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get to it. And you know, again, that's not to say just talk about it. Do it. Show yourself that you can do it. You know, a year ago, if you had told me that I'm getting up every single day, editing a video, recording a video, posting videos, whether it's on TikTok or YouTube, I'd have been like, you know, sure, that makes sense, but I don't really see how I can do that with where I'm at right now in my schedule, blah, blah, blah. But no, I figured it out. I got up. I'm getting up every single day, and I'm going to continue to do this for as long as it takes. As long as it takes. You know, because I'm enriching my own life by doing this because it's something that I enjoy. Sorry. This is something that I enjoy, and this is something I want to do with the rest of my life. So I'm enriching my life with this. You know? So it's just finding those things that you like, you know, add value to your own life. Enjoy your own life, man. You know? You don't need anybody else in your life to enjoy it, bro. You don't. Whether it's digging yourself out, picking up a hobby, maybe working on a passion, chasing a dream. It doesn't really matter what it is. As long as you're putting in the effort and the work, man, you're enriching your own life. because it's something you can talk about. With content creation, I can talk about it. I can't talk about the ins and outs of it, but I know more about it now than I do back then. I know more about it now than I did from when I started. I'm like, a way that I've enriched my life through content creation, not even just posting the videos and, you know, getting the reactions, blah blah blah. I've made friends off of this thing. I've made friends off of this. You know, I legitimately, there's group chats that I'm in that we actively chat in, and every night I hop on, you know, my friend's stream, and, you know, we're just in there chopping it up. We're just in there chopping it up, and that's a way that I've enriched my life, because I don't feel like, you know, I used to just at night, I just used to be by myself, you know, just chilling. You know, sometimes I had my dog. This is before, you know, I had my dog, but I just be by myself, just chilling, just watching TikToks and watching movies. And, you know, I liked that, but it did get a little bit lonely sometimes. I say it gets lonely, but I had a girlfriend at the time, but you know what I mean. Yeah, you know, it's just the friends that I've made through this has really enriched my life. That's something I'm very thankful for. But I'm gonna call it here for this one. We're at 11 minutes. Thank you guys for coming in here as usual. I love you. Love yourself more than you love anybody else. Love yourself before you love anybody else. And always try to cultivate the relationship with God. Always try to put him first with whatever you do. You know? And yeah, you know, if there's nobody out there that loves you, I love you, but there is somebody out there that loves you. Yes, I will see you guys tomorrow.